Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 76 of the regular season, where the Astros win 8-1 over the Los Angeles Angels behind another all-timer performance for Christian Javier. My word! If you thought he was amazing against the Yankees, he brought it again tonight and was as good. I would say he was as good as that Yankees game. Javier tonight pitched another gem. 14 strikeouts in 7 innings of work, no walks, 1 hit, 1 base runner. Now that base runner was a Shohei Ohtani solo shot in the first inning. That was his only, and I mean only, mistake tonight. Javier mowed down Angels players tonight. It was simply just incredible. We're watching, for the past 2 games, we have watched a Javier masterclass. He's on another level right now. And I'm going to get yelled at for saying it. And to be frank, I don't really mind. I'll take it. I don't need to be loved. Javier's the best pitcher on the staff. At least in the starting rotation. And I hear what you're saying. I understand that. I understand how great Verlander is. I love Justin Verlander. Do not get it twisted. I'm not bashing him at all. But man, oh man, Christian Javier, one of the best Ks per 9 in the league, just in the league among starting pitchers. One of the best. I believe he's 5th or I think he's 6th behind Shane McClanahan. Don't quote me on that, but around there. He's top 5 or top 10 in FIP, in ERA and expected ERA, or I know in expected ERA and FIP. He's simply otherworldly right now. He is just having an incredible season. And he is another pitcher on this rotation that, honestly, I think should be an all-star. I think he might be the most deserving of an all-star spot. Say what you will, I understand that. But man, the advanced analytics tell you that Javier is pitching at an elite level, and honestly, so are the actual statistics. Actual ERA also says it. He is just having a go of it right now. And these have been the best 2 consecutive games by a starting pitcher that I maybe have ever watched as an Astros fan. Enough gushing about the starting pitcher. Let's move on to gushing about the bullpen and the offense, because the bullpen was also pretty darn solid. Brian Abreu, inning of work, no hard contact, gave up 1 base hit, but that was it, and it didn't seem too troublesome. Beautiful double play turned by the Astros there. I believe it was Pena to Bregman to Yuli, just beautiful. Bregman's got a bit of an arm on it. You sometimes forget that. And then 9th inning, Enoli Paredes comes in, and he looks pretty solid. He walks a guy, but a pair of strikeouts. The walk was the only base runner he would allow. Hopefully that's the standard. Hopefully. That'd be neat. So let's talk about the Corey Lee in the room. Corey Lee gets called up. Talked about him a good bit during the live stream yesterday. And it's been on my mind a bit to talk about Corey Lee because, catcher is a position of need for the Astros. And I heard this news today while at the gym by James Williams. Again, chiming in with news before I catch it. Just the real MVP, if we're being honest for me. And I like it. I mean, I don't like that Jason Castro got injured, and then that's what's facilitating it. I don't like that being the reason. But, man, I like Corey Lee being called up. I am very interested to see what he can do. And the thing for Corey Lee that is good for him is he doesn't have to step in and be an elite catcher offensively, right? He doesn't have to be a 100 WRC plus and, league average or just be up there with the front runners of catcher to claim a spot here. He just has to be okay. He could be 20 points below average, right? He could be like an 80 WRC plus and still just be miles ahead offensively of Castro and Maldonado. He just has to be, he can be below average, just not horrifically below average. And that's good for him. There's not a ton of pressure on him. Man, he squared the ball up pretty well in his first at bat. I thought it was gone and I was going to just lose my mind. Apple Broadcast, thank you for faking us out on that one. I hate the Apple Broadcasts. But yeah, Corey Lee is now a Major League Baseball player, which is pretty neat. Now, on to the offense and balls that actually did leave the yard. Angels would take the 1-0 lead with the Shohei Ohtani home run, the only mistake of Javier's night. And then after that, Yuli homers in the second inning to make it a 1-1 game. After that, Jake Meyers homers, his first of the season, to make it a 2-1 Astros lead, and then we go to the third inning, and the Astros poured it on pretty heavily. Alex Bregman, sac fly to make it 3-1. After that, J.J. Metanjevic, who doing pretty all right. Metanjevic might just carve himself out a spot on that bench. He doubles. That makes it a 4-1 Astros lead. After that, Jake Myers, another base hit, make it a 6-1 Astros lead. Jake Myers again. I know I said I wasn't crazy about him just slotting in and taking McCormick's spot, but man, he's looked great so far. It's a very, very, very small sample size, but he's hitting the ball really well. He's playing good defensively. He could be the center fielder the rest of the way. And then, speaking of Chas McCormick, who now might be your 5th outfielder, which is wild to think about that. He might be your 5th outfielder. Homers to make it an 8-1 Houston lead. And the Astros offense, just, again, another great night. We look, as a team, as good as ever. The offense is as good as it's ever been. The starting rotation is as good as it's ever been. And the bullpen, the big question mark. Remember when we were losing our minds because we didn't go out and make any big splashes for the pen? And then, Brian Abreu just happened to be elite. Oh, and so did Rafael Montero and Hector Neris and Ryan Stenek. The bullpens are great too. It's I don't know what to say other than just I'm amazed. This team right now looks as good as it ever has, and I feel as good about this team as I ever have about an Astros team. There was at no point in the regular season, even the first 2 rounds of the postseason last year, that I felt as good about that team as I do this one right now. They are otherworldly right now. And we've been rolling. We rolled against good teams, and we absolutely punished a team that, they're well below 500, but I want to say they're 2nd or 3rd in the division, which is just, okay, now they're 4th. We really thought the Angels and Mariners were going to compete for the West this year, huh? Also, neat little bit of housekeeping. The Astros have a 12.5 game lead in the West. So we might clinch the title before September. The Astros look to continue this little stretch that we're on where we are playing absolutely phenomenally. Tomorrow, 4:10 Eastern, 3:10 Central, the Astros are going to send Jose Urquidy, who's been pretty solid his last few games, to the mound, and the Angels will send Patrick Sandoval. I'll be here afterwards to talk about it. And that's all I have to say for the evening. So, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Stros.